reconvene. We reconvene. Go ahead.
Okay, they reconvene, Mr. Chairman.
This is the Nottaway County Board of Supervisors work session, May 14th, 2026, 7 p.m. We are meeting at the Crew Volunteer Fire Department with our IDA, so we can have a roundtable discussion. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Someone want to do the invocation? Mr. Ingham, would you do an invocation?
You really want me to do one? I can do
Sure.
it. Let's go to the Father, please. Lord, we want to thank you for the opportunity to meet and work on the problems that are facing our county. We want to thank you for the rain that we've had, and hopefully you will be sending us some more real soon.
Yes, Lord.
And please be with everyone tonight as we discuss the issues facing our county, and be with us and those who are not able to attend and those who are under the weather, sick and so forth. And I ask you in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
There's our flag right there. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, supervisors, we've got an agenda. You've got one sheet in front of you. I'd like to take a motion to approve that agenda.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, financing with the IDA, this is Davenport and Company.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, so the Davenport's team, I guess, if you want to go that way, David, you introduce your team and we'll get started. But I also want to thank again the IDA has stayed here. They had a meeting before this meeting, and then after we could get this solved, they may want to adjourn and go on back to their business if they want to. But that's up to them.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Dan Siegel, who's with Sands Anderson as your bond counsel, he's going to come up and keep me from going off the rails. And his colleague is Steve Forbes. So they're with Sands Anderson as your bond counsel, which makes sure that everything is done for federal, state, all of that. Ben Tolbert is here tonight. He is a Virginia Tech graduate, and he's on his way to go to his sister's graduation after this. So I told him to kind of move the parts. So I guess we should, you want to just come right here. We've got a handout for everybody. And I would say anybody in the audience, everything that we've got is fully public, of course. And we can just make sure that we get what you want. That's very well.
Thank you.
I'll wait a second here.
Thank you.
Is there anything else maybe you want to say, Steve?
Thank you, sir.
No, I guess maybe to get started, we just Davenport's team is helping us, of course, along with Sands Anderson. We got two situations that we need to borrow money, and one of them, of course, the board knows about is the HVAC system at the Crew. Crew Elementary School. It was Crew Primary School when I was growing up. I think even Bob Timberlake might have went to that school. I don't know. But anyway, the HVAC system, Bob probably didn't have AC. I better shut up. So, but anyway, the HVAC system has failed. They had multiple leaks. They've had to stop the class, and they want to get started in the summer while the kids are out. And Train, the company Train has gotten that. I understand has gotten that project. The other part of this is what they're helping us with, and they'll go walk through with it, is the loan for the courthouse for the design. And that is through English. Of course, Mosley is doing the actual design of it and the architect. And so as time progresses, we have to start making payments as they put time in to get that project finished. And so that's kind of where we stand. And for the funding. Am I close with that?
You are. That's very good. Thank you, Steve. So again, to both boards, I've been in front of you before, and previous boards. Our role is serve as financial advisor. That means that we don't provide the funding, but rather what we do is look to get the funding. And so we're not biased one way or another. And so what we did, if you look at this first page here, as advisor to the county and again indirectly to the IDA. We went out and put bids out and said anybody and everybody, regional, national banks can provide us, hopefully, up to $7.5 million. And the reason we got that money, and we want to get that money, was because, as Steve said, we need $4.5 million for the HVAC, and there's hopefully there'll be some grant dollars that'll defer that.
Right, that's why you went up to
That's
7.5,
exactly right.
okay.
And we also are borrowing for about 2.6 or so for the starting of the courthouse. So you may say, well, why won't we just take money out of our, we'll call it our fund balances, number one, we don't have enough money to take out of fund balances. Number two is that it would cross over a fiscal year, and so the actual overall finances of the county would be depleted. And the way cash flow works for the county when it comes to paying bills, they're not unique, all counties, cities the same, because as you know, you collect taxes only in most instances once or twice a year. You get monies very, sort of uneven from the state and have to give monies away. So you all need to have fund balances to pay bills. And that's something, we don't ever want to be in a position where we are going to borrow money to make payroll. And that's not something we want to do. That's a bad thing in terms of overall. That said, we made a recommendation. We talked to your board chairman, of course, who's a financial expert, and we said, look, here's the deal. If we can get money at or approximately the cost of the money, at the same time we can prepay it with no penalty or minimal any penalty, and the timing that we want, well, that's what we're asking for. So the good news tonight is this presentation is pretty short because we got what we asked for. We got 3 bona fide bids. And the best bid is from Huntington Bank, National Bank. We got some local bids that were good. We got some regional bids from Truist that were good. But at the end of the day, while we had estimated a 5% cost of money, we basically have gotten just slightly over 4% cost of money. Basically, effectively at 4.05%. So that's the fixed rate. If we move forward, Dan's going to talk about how to make sure that all works and how it's done. So Steve used to kid him when we did the radio system, he said, I'm not going to go to jail. And I said, no, we're not going to go to jail, we'll do it right. And Dan makes sure of that. He and I have worked together for 40 years, so both from Richmond, and that's our world. So that said, let me just show you on page 4 what, get to page 4. We have 3 proposals, Citizens here, Huntington and Truist, and all of them are consistent with what we asked for. That was up to $7.5 million, ability to prepay it, and to keep it out for up to 3 years. We purposely set it up that way, but if you go to page 5, what you'll see is we effectively can pay this off all apart next July. And that's important because we know that we're going to have money that we're going to need. And the reality is we're going to tie that into what we're going to do a permanent financing. The permanent financing, we know it's going to be much more than that because the courthouse project is going to be much more than that. So this is a way that's going to tide us over. It's traditional to do with lots of local governments here in Virginia. Using the IDA is not typical in a place like North Carolina, but it is in Virginia, and Dan will talk a little bit about that in a minute. So once you see it. But on page 5, this is, as I said, the interest rate, 4.05%. It's fixed, and the bank, basically, Huntington said that within a few days of the action we're hoping for, they will work towards getting a formal approval. If it doesn't work, or we don't get a formal approval, then the second choice would be Truist Bank at 4.5, still below our planning rate. But we feel like it should work. We don't see a reason why it would not. Dan will talk about what we need in terms of what we call collateral and support. So with all of that said, I would just like to talk about the time schedule on page 7, next steps.
Let me interject real quick, if you don't mind, so the board knows this, and I'll be completely transparent with the IDA and the board as well. When this proposals first came in, when I saw that Citizens Bank and Trust was on the list, I did not invite the chairman, didn't talk to the chairman about it. I called in the vice chairman, and we had a virtual with the vice chairman without the absence of the chairman, and that's the reason why we did it. So I just want everybody to understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, a good solid proposal, but it was far enough away interest-wise that we just felt like, because under Virginia law, we can go with higher, but it would be hard for us to justify to the citizens, not Citizens Bank, the citizens that we have 1.5% differential. If it was 0.25%, fine, you can even special keep the money locally, but it's a big difference. You saw that difference between the 4.05 and 5% was almost $200,000 of savings in terms of interest savings. So that would be another 100. So it was a $300,000 swing, and that's impossible for us to justify. So that said,
We got our other board member joining us in just so you know.
Mr. Close?
all right. We got another thing to check. So we are on page 7 and talking about next steps. I'm going to turn it over to you, Dan. I think this would be a good time for you to get it going.
So I think each of you have different resolutions. I'll explain what they are briefly, and if you want more detailed explanation, I'll be going through that. From our standpoint, it would be best if the board makes a decision first. If you decide you want to go and adopt the resolution, do that. If the IDA wants to act tonight, they should follow, do it after the board acts. So you based it on the recommendation of the Board of Supervisors. And we don't want to force the IDA into anything, so if you want to wait, and want to do another meeting, but we do have to close it before June 11th. So you have to have another meeting before then. But you could, everything's ready to act tonight, it's just a matter of whether you're comfortable or not. So the resolution from, we didn't really leave time for questions. Does anybody have any questions at this point in terms of?
But I'd like to say, Dan, if we could, so I can make it clear too, because some of these folks haven't been in some of the meetings. I know the IDA has not. And I know we have a deadline for June, but Train is looking for mobilization costs. I'm hoping the school system is going to be able to pay that out of the budget that they're in now. They're working on a grant for over $1 million, 1.1, 1.2 million. That's why we went up to 7.5, so that they have a really good chance for that grant. But the main thing is, sometime in June, July, they're going to be looking for us a payment of about $1 million. So I just want everybody to know that there's some sense of urgency here as well. Anyway.
Right, and with the HVAC project.
Right.
So
And what's strange, IDA, I gotta say this. The first meeting you had, we're talking about, we're getting $8.2 million. Now I'm telling you, I'm borrowing 7.5. It's a tough world like that right now. Anyway. All right, thank you.
No, that's fine. Other questions from, I wanted to give you all a chance if you had any questions on what we said so far from Mr. Rose, and then I'll move quickly to the resolution.
I'll go right now.
Okay. So the resolution for the Board of Supervisors, I'll break out a copy of that. It basically goes through exactly what Mr. Rose just went through. It explains that, you went out to the public, talked to different banks. This is all for to start the renovation of the courthouse design and some cost on that, and the bigger number is the school and their HVAC. It's not to exceed $7.5 million, so that's sort of described in the first part, and then it describes the documents at the bottom of that page, and this is really the same, goes through the IDA the same way. The way this is structured and the way we do this in Virginia is the bank wants collateral to make sure, because this is subject to appropriation, so if the board doesn't appropriate, it doesn't get paid. So they want collateral to say, well, we have something in case it doesn't.
What's the difference in moral obligation and collateral? Why would you need both?
Because while they love your moral obligation, they like the idea of you having a little pain if you decide you're not going to pay.
Was the other two lenders looking at it in the way of collateral in the same respect as Huntington looked at it?
Which is really traditional. I mean, it's not unusual at all.
We got an old courthouse we can give them.
Well, that's, oddly enough,
That's in
that's,
there.
that's what the collateral is. So what happens is that the county will lease, under what we call a ground lease, the courthouse is the collateral, to the IDA. And then the IDA will lease it back to the county for the term of the note. So in this case, three plus years. The county then pays in lease payments the same dollar amount that is due on the bond, which is, we call it note, and it's a short. So it's the rent is basically the interest payments. And then at the end of the lease, you pay the principal. And as Mr. Rose explained, if we get some grant money or we do another financing, a permanent financing from the courthouse, we can pay this off after next July 27th. So, but there's a ground lease and a lease back. And then the collateral is there's an assignment of the ground lease and the lease back to the bank, which is the bondholder. And they buy it all in a note purchase agreement. And all of that's listed at the bottom of the first page and then the second page of the resolution. And then there's the actual tax exempt note, which we call a specimen note. And then the next page really just refers to that, if you're agreeing to this, the board is saying, we'd like everybody to accept this proposal from Huntington. And by the way, if Huntington, for some reason, doesn't approve the credit, then we're going to go with Truist. And we've got that rate set out here. All the costs and expenses are paid out of the bond issue. From the county side, the IDA has no liability on this, and the IDA is indemnified, in effect, to the extent they can, but the county's saying, you don't have any liability, we're paying it. And as Arthur Anderson talked about earlier, the IDA members have no liability whatsoever from a personal standpoint. It's all subject to annual appropriation, hence the moral obligation question you had, and that's all set out in that paragraph 3. And then the terms are really set out on page 3 on paragraph 4, which talks about the $7.5 million, and we put in the higher rate of Truist at 4.5% in case there's some problem, then you can go to the second.
And you may have already answered this, but for Huntington to do it, time is sort of of essence, correct? In
June 11th, they've extended it to June 11th.
So if we don't get them, say, okay, we're gonna do it by June 11th, then they can opt out of go up on the rate we have to go through.
Exactly, which is, and
Well, Truist
do the same thing.
They can change it.
Everybody,
And unfortunately, the way rates are today, things are changing all the time.
And as you said, there's no prepayment penalty, correct?
After July of next year. Correct.
And so I gotta ask this question, and I've asked it before, and I don't know if I've got to answer. You guys put a lot of work and effort, dress really nice into this. What is it costing us from y'all?
A lot. No, I'm sorry.
So we actually, just like the last financing we did, there's two parts of it, our fee. One part is, to your point, hours and planning and meeting with your boards in general, we met all the time.
So it's hourly account?
And so that's about half of the fee, that's around 40 or so. Okay, and then the other typical, our standard for financing like this is about 45. So you put them together, it's about $90,000. So that's part of that 7.5. Dan's probably a light amount, I can't speak for it, but we've been doing it so many years. A little less, yeah. This suits like less.
We're not as important.
But that's really it. So we get those two are part of it. And then sometimes there's some small bank fees and some small other, but very small, just a few.
I see 3,000 in there for Huntington.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Huntington
talking
uses a
about.
council out of.
You got it. So that's what I
Brent
mean
as
by
well.
small. And so we basically put that together. Ultimately, when you put it all together, it's less than 7.5 million, but we set it up purposely in case there's some surprises. I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah.
No problem.
So if your fee is almost like his fee, just for easy figure, let's say $150,000. We are borrowing money and paying interest to pay you your fee so you get your money up front.
Yes, of course.
Why couldn't we become in an obligation so we wouldn't have to pay interest on that money and pay you over a period of time?
So.
Is that not how y'all don't do that? That's just a
Well, I'll tell
question.
you, we can't do that. It's
Okay.
interesting, good question. The auditors, our auditors and your auditors, have a requirement that in the time and the year, fiscal year, that work is done, you have to pay that in that fiscal year and have to show that. So if we were to say to you, not that we have problems, I've been involved for several years and all that, and a lot of my clients, like Dan, 20, 30, 40 years, in some places. If we said, well, every 5 years we do something, so we're going to charge you a fifth along the way, the auditors say that's not proper accounting from the county side or our side. So it's interesting. We used to actually do that. We used to say, you know what? Okay, we'll hold off until a permanent financing. And that way, can't do that anymore. So I'm glad, that's a good question to ask.
But to his question though, do we have the option to pay y'all and not put y'all in that line? Do we
Yeah,
have?
right, but the reality is, we don't care. It doesn't matter to us.
As long as you get the money,
right?
Right, as long as you get paid. But what I'm recommending, before you came in, what we said was the interest rate, that 4.05%, is basically about the same as what you're earning
So we
on your
would
money.
cost.
So I'd rather see, as your advisor, I'd rather see you have more cash sitting in your fund balance because you look stronger because cash is king. That's what we look at. So don't change us, but I'd rather see you do that. And that's why, again, now, if you were sitting on lots of millions, you know what, there could even be an argument, okay, advance yourself, and not even borrow, but you're not, that's not the situation we're in. And the other problem is, we gotta go to permanent financing next year, both calendar year and fiscal year. And so what we want is, when the fiscal year ends June 30th, I want your balance sheet, I want your fund balances to look as strong as possible. Because then the lenders, which could even include the state, PRA, which we've done before, I want you to look as robust as possible. So there's kind of a method to our madness here. You're not gonna change us.
Right.
It changes the way you look.
One question, when we had met, Bo, and we were virtual, I guess. How many financial institutions did RFP go out to?
Was it
So
110?
they went out to over 100.
Okay, I just want people to understand that, I just want a few.
I mean, we send it out in the whole country. We don't differentiate between Nottaway County and Prince Edward County and anyone else we do, or even Loudoun County. But what we also know is for us to get 3 bids back on something this size and then everything, that's solid. That's solid. We'd like to see like 3 bids or more. If it were a longer term, we might have gotten 4 or 5 bids, because again, these banks have to do their due diligence on you, and in fairness, same amount of work on something that's out there maybe only a year plus.
You know, a car dealership finances a vehicle through, such as GM,
Right,
they get a kickback.
right.
Does Davenport get a kickback from Huntington? No, that probably would be more.
That's not even legal.
That's what I thought. But the car dealership is pretty legal.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
I didn't think you did, I just wanted for the public to know. that you probably did.
But anyway,
Those are good questions. Any more questions? How about from the IDA? Any questions so far?
If you could, the IDA is not familiar with it. Are these funds going into the Virginia, the SNAP account, the construction account?
I think that's right. Well, all of it's going to be invested in the
Could you
Virginia
explain
SNAP
that to
account,
the IDA?
which is a state-run investment pool that local governments can use. There's also something called a local government investment pool, which is where probably the county has a lot of its funds. This fund, the SNAP fund they call it, the state non-arbitrage, is set up only for tax-exempt bonds that governments use. But basically the rate is about the same as the other LGIP fund.
And the other thing about the SNAP funds and the LGIP, they're literally available in like a day's time without penalty. And so they're set up, they're all government obligations, federal government obligations of one kind or another. And so each of those funds, if you go on the internet, you can actually see every single day you earn a piece of interest. So you're not playing the game with the market or anything like that. No stocks, you're not allowed to be in that. I say you, meaning these entities, and it can only be for local governments or authorities that are Virginia authorities that are borrowing tax exempt. So we can't access them. So
And this is a draw account where Mr. Bowen said that the contractor may want $1 million in July.
right.
So Mr. Bowen, the school would request to Mr. Bowen would then request from Virginia SNAP account, send us $1 million.
Yep.
The remaining fund stays in the account, earns interest.
Right, that's right. And so it earns interest up until the day you draw it out. And you can basically, we kind of say, give it a couple days, because they, but
Right,
it's
but if
literally.
you want money Friday, call on Monday.
Yeah, call a couple days early. But the point is, you're not taking risks, so to speak. Yeah, the federal government goes under, we're all in trouble, and that is. But just to give you a sense, like in the SNAP account, there's something like $12 billion, and in the local government, it's about a similar amount. So collectively, there's like $25 billion of local government monies, all managed by the state treasurer's office.
Mr. Chairman, just for the public, I want people to know that SNAP is two different things from the supplemental nutritional program that's out there.
Oh, right.
That is not,
No,
that has nothing
I'm
to
glad
do
you
with
said,
it.
yes, no. This is purely, it's called the State Non-Arbitrage Program. I remember handing out around when it got started in the early 80s, and it's been a very, very good program. North Carolina has a North Carolina Management Trust, similar to our program, and they have followed what we do in Virginia. And that's been around for like 35 years, but our program's been around for 40 plus years. So it's a good program, but I'm glad you said something that no tie to anything related to health stuff. So,
All right, thank you.
We had the question, you haven't told what the IDA's responsibilities are yet. What do we have to do?
Well, other than signing the document.
Well,
The good news is, what happens is the lender in this case, let's use Huntington, will get a note or a bond. The payments will be made directly from the county to Huntington. It looks like it flows through the IDA, but you don't actually get the payments. It goes straight to the bank. And the draws are going to be taken from the county side of things. So your actual role is just really from the closing. And then it sort of ends, which is great.
so by getting the IDA involved, it helps with the interest rate some?
It does. It's one of the ways that the counties can borrow tax exempt, and it allows them to do these kind of moral obligation type financings. In Virginia, that's how these are generally done. When the county did the radio equipment, they did that with VRA, Virginia Resource Authority, and Virginia Resource Authority was sort of that in the same role as the IDA. But here now it's just with the IDA. So that's a great question. Other questions from the IDA? From a resolution standpoint, I think I've gone through the main parts of it. I can go through detail. There's a section here that's kind of fun, on page 4 at the top. It provides that you have a special exception under the Internal Revenue Code that allows you to use, if you have the money sitting and invested, you can actually invest it at a higher rate than
What you're paying.
the borrowing rate, because we have this special exception. So we're putting that in there. It's called the small issuer exception. And you get that ability to do that if you're calendar year, you're not borrowing more than 10 million. And you get an additional actual 5 million for school type construction. So part of this is school. So it's in great, you have great ability. So if the SNAP investment that you're making turns out to go up to 5%, you get to keep that, where normally you would have to give the difference to the federal government at the end of the launch.
And by the way, so the other thing about that is the state automatically takes care of all those calculations. We don't have to do that, we don't have to do that. We give a report. How often do you do that? How often do you do that? Every year? Every year, we get a copy of it, but the county gets a report, make sure that, again, the interest is done properly. You can see that in the account every day. So it's very straightforward.
But it's viewable every day instead of just a 1-year report, is that correct? I mean, basically, like if Steve said, well, let's see what it's done the first quarter. He'd be able to say, okay, all right.
We see, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
You
we're
should
able to
get a
go,
monthly.
we can like monthly, we can go and see exactly how much interest was earned.
Okay.
Because, let's say, today it might be, 3.98%. So you get 3.98 for 1 day, based on how much is sitting there for that day, yesterday or today. And then tomorrow it might be 3.94. So you get the equivalent of that kind of thing. And then, to your point, you draw down $1 million, well, the next day it's going to be 5 million as opposed to 6 million earning at that. You'll see it. It's a very straightforward report. It's very easy. But we monitor that just in case there's mistakes. Rarely, if ever. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So, because the beauty of it is the state shows you, and we go back 20 years and know what interest rate was every single day. So it's real easy, And because, like you said, we're not going to be making 50 draws, like writing 50 checks. No, we're going to be writing a few checks along the way. So that's sort of how it works. But that's part of our job too, to make sure everything looks right, is being done right, what have you. But that's what we do.
So, Mr. Chairman, if the board would like, they can approve this resolution, and if possible, by roll call vote. So we have a record.
Okay. I'd like to have just some discussion amongst the board members. Do anybody have, you guys have any questions? Do you understand what this has been used for?
And it's my understanding that they have to vote on it
They're going to, first, I think they said,
Yeah, I
We
think
vote.
it's best to have the board of
Supervisors first.
so they know what you're doing.
What, I would like to ask Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, I know it's 3 proposals, and it looks like we're going with Huntington, but is it okay for the Chairman Collins to vote?
Well, it's actually Mr. Elwood.
Mr. Elwood? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it's that.
It's okay with him?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
I want to make sure.
So it's interim financing. We anticipate that the school, the last kind of round number they gave us is about 1.2 million or 1.5 million in grants. Those applications, I think, start either June 1st or July 1st. So they'll make those applications. When that money comes in, we can't put it on this loan until, I guess, July 1st next year. So we'll have that grant funds sitting and earning interest also, waiting for us to be able to make the prepayment, the first prepayment. The soft costs that we're getting for the courthouse are going to allow English Construction to give us their final number on the build, and that's the number that they guarantee. That money will come out of the big mortgage, and be paid back. So I think potentially in July, next summer, this could probably come down to 2.5 or 3 million. And that would be termed out. We would negotiate with Huntington Bank to make mortgage payment.
In our motion, should we make any mention as true as being the backup so we don't have to do it again, or would we have to do it again?
The way the resolution's drafted, you're just adopting the resolution as drafted.
It's
It
already-
gives you that ability.
Okay.
So that's a good question.
Mr. Chairman, do we need to read the resolution aloud?
We don't have to read the entire resolution?
I hope not. I have a question. So, in other words, when we make a draw, for example, the million for the schools in July, that's the first money we've actually borrowed?
No, we're gonna borrow all of it.
We'll borrow all 7? Okay, I got
It's
you.
gonna immediately get invested in SNAP,
Got you.
and then you're gonna tell SNAP, let's say you,
Right.
of course, we need $1 million on, pick a date,
Okay.
July 12th.
Okay.
SNAP will be, okay, July 11th, we'll transfer it over, you tell us where, and that's how. it works.
Okay, all right,
So
good.
truthfully, it's not costing us that 4.05 until we draw it off.
That's why I was asking.
Well, it's costing you 4.05, but you're earning
That's what I'm
almost
saying.
4.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. And Dan's point is, to the extent, because that 4.05 is fixed for 3 years. But if, let's say, the money's still sitting there, and the earnings rate, the SNAP goes from 4%, let's say, to 4.10, then you're actually making money.
Right.
We never look at it that way. We don't count like
They don't.
money, but
They don't let us do it for long. What was the year they started asking about the radios?
Yeah, the radio project, they can give me so much time. If I don't draw so much, that interest goes, the federal government don't let us take that interest.
because it's over the amount.
Yeah.
But you said the school part of this allows that.
Well, and we have the exception, so I think,
Okay.
the federal government, they keep track of it, but normally you have the exception.
Well, the problem was with that project was the radio system. We're not here to talk about that, but it's hard. It takes a lot of work to get to a certain point
Sure.
for the draw, and we were not going to draw when we didn't have the equipment here. If that makes any sense, that's what we run into.
Yeah, but if they shouldn't be asking you for the money for the federal government, because we did some special IRS exceptions.
The
on that one.
language is correct.
So if you get that question.
Okay,
come to
I
us.
will. Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman, do you have a prepared motion, or are you ready to receive a motion?
I'm ready to receive a motion. I do not believe there was one prepared.
All right.
No, well, I think it was just simple.
Look at the top of the title here. And this
Yeah, I
is-
got you.
so-
All right, so, Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the resolution of the Nottaway County Board of Supervisors as presented by Davenport Company.
I second.
All right, Mr. Bowman, roll call.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, we got a motion on the floor to accept this resolution and give the permission to the county administrator to sign it. I've got a motion on the floor by Mr. Roll, got a properly second by Mr. Toth. With that said, how do you vote, Vice Chair Toth, yea or nay?
Yay.
Mr. Roll, yea or nay?
Yay.
Ms. Norton, yea or nay?
Yay.
Mr. Ingram, yea or nay?
Yay.
Chairman Collins, yea or nay?
Yay.
Mr. Chairman, we got 5 yeas and no nays.
Yay.
All right.
Now, I guess we will turn it over to the IDA. You've got basically the same resolution. I'll be glad to answer any more questions, but I think we can walk through. We were tired of sitting there before, but in a similar manner, if you want to approve it tonight, you can make a motion to approve the resolution as presented, and then have a roll call vote.
And I'll be glad to help with the roll call vote if you want to, Mr.
All right, now, do I have a motion to accept the resolution as presented? And then makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All right.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I see that we got a motion on the floor to approve the resolution from the IDA from Ms. Inge and the second, probably second by Ms. Simmons, correct?
Correct.
Okay, with that said, doing this roll call, how do you vote, yea or nay? Mr. Miller?
Yay.
Ms. Simmons, yea or nay?
Yay.
Ms. Duffy, yea or nay?
Yay.
Ms. Enns, yea or nay?
Yay.
Mr. Chairman Timberlake, yea or nay?
Yay.
Mr. Chairman, we got 5 votes, all in favor for approving the resolution. And of course, we have 1 person absent tonight. All
That's
right.
it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, while I got some people on the clock, Mr. Chairman, give a little leeway. I just want to say this because I know the IDA may be adjourning. We have Ms. Pettis over there. I'm trying to recruit her into the IDA, and she's here tonight to learn. And because it's a learning curve for all of us, so I just wanted to recognize that. That's actually Section 8, Mr. Chairman. And but I just wanted to recognize her, take the time up here. And the reason why I'm asking that question is she is actually on the planning commission. This is probably Gary Elbert. She's on the planning commission. Is any conflict with her as an IDA member? There's none on that. Okay. She had concerns of that. And while I had the people in the room, I wanted to ask that question. Okay. Thank you for giving me the leeway, Mr. Chairman. Okay.
So when do you need signatures from?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So we'll arrange with the chairman and the secretary to, which is the secretary?
Well, it'll be the clerk and deputy. Miss Kelly will help me with that.
Is that right? You're the secretary of the IDA?
She didn't know that until a few. She didn't know that until 2 minutes ago.
Did y'all approve that?
That'll do.
Y'all approve that? We need to
Prove what?
her being secretary. Okay.
No, I thought Mr. Bowman.
Well,
No?
Emma? Lord have mercy. Okay, yeah, y'all did approve that. I am. It
You're
comes to
Secretary
me.
Treasurer, yes.
She's the assistant clerk.
Definitely.
Jog that bullet, Andrew.
All right, so we'll coordinate with your schedules and with
Yes.
the chairman's schedule, signing and, with the clerk
Okay.
and it'll be within the next, 2 weeks, I would think.
Okay.
We're gonna send out the documents to the banks. They haven't sent the documents yet, after
Okay.
this meeting, so we'll send those tomorrow. And then there's a period of getting comments and we've got some closing certificates we'll put together.
Okay.
So probably within the next 2 weeks, we'll work out with your schedules.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dan. Mr. Rose, thank you for your team coming up here tonight.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All
I
right.
guess we're ready to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
See you next time.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Can you make sure you give Dr. Martin
Yes, we will. Thank you.
his stuff?
Yeah, because I think she actually needs some more documentation.
She may, if
Train.
they're doing the grant application.
But I can send her the minutes, they said we approved her.
Presentation to us.
And they approved it.
So this loan
They approved the
this
site
loan
agreement
could pay
for
us more
Walnut
than
Street
what it-
tonight too. We'll need 2 million.
Haven't seen her since the drugstore closed.
Thank you, Ms. Pettis. Thank you. Yes. I was just trying to really. Okay, let's make sure, I know you want to get out of here.
That's Jaleel's one. I like those things where you're making almost as much money as your interest as you're paying. I can deal with
That's a
that.
bill kind of, all the bill
I can deal with that.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Actually, see if we can amend this. Mr. Bowman,
I don't think, I don't think.
do you mind?
You and I talked about it. I mean, 18,000 miles.
Oh, yeah, we should have probably done that. So why don't we, let her do
Look, I remember.
And then move that, so move 10 to, and then that'd be great. The rest of them will be late.
Telling you, these people.
Yeah, after LRB and then a couple, and then the state
He always
legislative.
sends it to the court.
Right.
As long as we're not talking
I
about,
sent it back. And I
that's a
said,
very
"Why
good
did
elder
you
question.
request $2?"
What are you talking about, rezoning?
Yeah, the amendment is,
Let's see what you actually spent.
What did Gary go to?
So
He says something?
he sent me a whole bunch of stuff.
He advised, he advised.
What's
Well, that's
going
what we
on
need to
with
see.
it?
Let's do it.
Yep.
We need to see that from the other ones.
okay, we'll start.
There's all the people that work, and if they're part-time, full-time, whatever. New hire probation, so that's a new one. They got all these people.
All right, there we go. Yeah.
But I'm on
Supervisors, I do have a request. We have some people in the audience here, and they're at the end, but I'm gonna put them after, number 4. So I'm gonna switch 10 to go after number 4, that way they don't have to sit the rest of the evening and listen, watch us go through our work.
Yes, sir.
If I can have a motion to change the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, second.
All in favor? Next, we have Burkeville Elementary Gym.
Yeah, well, Mr. Chairman, I'm proudly to introduce Mrs. Jamise Watson. She's right over here. I told her to come on and sit at the table and didn't have to stand in front of everybody, but.
Hello, Ms. Watson.
But anyway, y'all know that Mr. Stiff, they got in front of the board, he made a comment about the bitches being hard. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's mentioned also he wants to get the kids off the street.
Yeah.
And so I told y'all that somebody wanted to talk a little bit about the Burkeville gym, and anyway, so, she has some, she's a teacher by heart, Mr. Ingram.
Yes.
And it's in her DNA, so
I remember Ms. Watson,
Okay.
back in the day.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead, Ms. Watson, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone, and
Good
thank
evening.
you so much for the opportunity to speak. As you've heard, I'm a former educator. I still have it at heart. I'm from Lunenburg County. I guess you wonder, what am I doing over here? Not with Board of Supervisors, but I taught here for 9 years, and I still have a love for all students everywhere. I'm here tonight to respectfully request access to the Burkeville Gym to host a youth summer camp, basketball related. I say basketball related because I'm an educator at heart. I'm going to sneak in there a little reading remediation, a little math skills, because with basketball, stats and scores and reading up on your position that you desire to play, Stephen Curry's latest stats, I can sneak it in there and they'll never know. They'll never know. Being an educator at heart, I love children. I love students, and they need something to do this summer. Every summer from here on, but I gotta start baby steps. And my son and my nephew and a gentleman from Lunenburg who is a personal trainer, we got together and we said, somebody's gotta start it, so we're gonna start it. We're gonna try, okay? So what I would like to do is kind of introduce the 3 people I've mentioned, just to let you know their qualifications and you know, what our vision is, okay? I myself, right now I'm retired. I currently work part-time as a legal assistant. I have of course I have my supervisor's license in education, K-12 through K-12, but I also have a business management degree. So I'm on the business end because I can't play sports. I can't dribble. I can't do a thing, but I'm the best cheerleader you will ever have, and team mom, okay? Now, my staff, here's your athletes, okay? My son is currently employed with Nottoway Public Schools. He's the PE and gym teacher at the high school. He has a degree in sports recreation and management because the boy lives and breathes sports. He also is the basketball coach at Central High School and the baseball coach, JV baseball coach at Central High School. My nephew just graduated in May. He has a degree in sports recreation and management. So I guess you can tell our family, we love sports, okay? He played high school basketball. The gentleman that's the personal trainer is not from our area, but he just came to Lunenburg, and we're so thankful to have him. He offers personal training at the town hall in Lunenburg. And I went to him to train my grandson and my granddaughter, and we just bonded over our passion for children and sports. So we all got together and we said we're gonna find something productive for our kids to do this summer, and that's where this came from. Our goal with this is to have affordable summer activities, a safe and structured environment, positive mentorship opportunities for youth and families. From a former educator's perspective, sports and mentorships, they help youth develop leadership skills, teamwork and communication, discipline and accountability, confidence and self-esteem, and healthy lifestyles and positive social relations. Our program will also include, as I mentioned, a little reading remediation, math skill development, journaling and reading activities, basketball statistics and scorekeeping, problem solving, and critical thinking exercises. Like I say, I'm going to sneak it in, and they're not going to realize what they're doing, but they are learning. They are learning math skills and reading skills, which, and I'm sure not a way, Lunenburg County, our kids are really struggling with reading and math. So why not throw that in when I have them all together and doing something fun. Safety definitely will remain our top priority. Parent waivers will be required, background checks on any staff or volunteers, county policies and procedures will be followed, and insurance will be obtained if necessary. We are passionate about creating this opportunity to uplift our youth and to strengthen our community. I'm thinking kind of optimistic right now. I had the privilege of going to the Burkeville Gymnasium, and I have to tell you, I was just so impressed at that beautiful facility sitting there. We got to utilize that beautiful place. I remember going there years ago to watch some adults play basketball, but I do believe it's even more beautiful now. And the things that I'm envisioning, I can envision keeping that gym occupied all year long. After a positive and productive basketball camp this summer, I guess we'll call it our trial run. If all goes well and you would allow for us to continue, I'm just going to throw some ideas at you for you just to ponder over that will be a low-cost community program for all ages. I'm thinking of pickleball. I've been looking myself somewhere to play pickleball. Zumba and aerobics, walking clubs, youth fitness programs, senior wellness activities, dance classes, volleyball. That beautiful facility, it just needs to be utilized, and we all know living in this low socioeconomic area, it's not a lot of resources. And if we have something like that, I would love to utilize it as, to its full potential and give back to the community. Unfortunately, when my son was growing up, I had to drive to Richmond every summer to take him to camps. Not just Richmond, we've been to UVA, Duke, JMU, Virginia Tech, to go to basketball camps, baseball camps. It was quite an adventure, but I don't regret it because he excelled, and sports is just in his DNA. But a lot of parents don't do that and can't do that. And that's why my children who are love sports and are willing to give back, we want to give back and give these parents something we didn't have to drive 2 hours just to have a camp. So that's what our vision is. So these activities would help keep community members active, healthy, connected, and engaged while creating a stronger sense of community. So our vision is to create a positive community space where families can come together, build relationships, and improve overall well-being. So in closing, we respectfully request approval to use the Burkeville Gymnasium to start with a youth basketball camp with the availability that you have for June and July. August, a lot of athletes are getting ready for football, so we figured that, we'll cut it off, but these young people need somewhere to go to be safe and productive. Too much idle time could be detrimental, and we all know that. And we are willing to give our time,
So you're,
to do this.
So you'll be volunteering?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. And
Yes,
then
sir.
you'll charge a small fee?
Yes, sir, because we have to cover the cost of renting the facility.
And that's,
and it's-
we had a meeting about 6, 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we asked each presenter, and we had about 10 presenters, there are people using the building now, that they contribute to the utilities.
Yes, sir.
And that, it's not in our, wasn't in our budget previously. The county schools just gave this to us in February. So we're still making a plan for it. So we do ask that anybody using it is going to contribute something.
Oh, yes, sir, definitely.
For maintenance, maintenance, heat and air, things like that. So,
Janice, I got a couple questions
Yes, sir,
too.
yes, sir.
What age groups are you thinking about?
We're thinking, 5 to 17. I mean, it's, my
Will
grandson
you
is
have them
6.
together, or will you do just like, say, 5 to
Separate.
10 and then, so different age groups?
That's the ideal plan.
Okay, right.
You have to kind of look at the participation
See
and
'em,
the
right,
interest
exactly.
to see, and we
If you have
would love
enough,
to
yeah.
separate them, because it'll be more productive to
Right.
have them in their different age
Certainly,
groups.
certainly.
But if we were thinking about the age group, and then when I look at my grandson, who is 6, and he loves basketball already, why
Right.
not?
Sure.
Why not?
Well,
Yeah, we can find something for them to do.
you think about times during the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Well, evening, because I know how it is, not everybody is a teacher. I had a teacher schedule. I was off in the summer, and I
Right.
could take my child during the day. Most parents work till
Right.
4 or 5, so we're thinking of evening hours.
Okay.
And then Saturdays, we could have the league play where the parents can come and see their child, see what they have learned. But we're thinking to start off, it will be afternoons and
Okay.
evenings, to allow parents,
Right.
We,
time to get home and get the child.
we would require insurance, and it would have to be additional assured naming the county.
Yes, sir.
And that's mainly for the youth. Our VACO policy, we added a rider for volunteers.
Okay.
So we want the children to have some coverage in case there's an accident.
Correct.
There are children playing ball. So yes, we would want insurance.
Okay, gotcha.
Well,
Now, quotes on
I,
that.
Mr. Watson, I haven't talked to her about this, Mr. Chairman, I've talked to any of y'all. I did reach out to Helen Meyer and ask them, did y'all ever had because I know they had letting people use the gym before,
Right.
the rec association, and they have like a space use sheet, and that insurance is on there, like who's gonna be responsible, blah, 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 blah. And I gotta make it work for Nottaway County. It's
Okay.
school title on it, but and she said, Steve, you can use that sheet anywhere, but that's what they've used, and, but we gotta have gotta have conversations with different people. The gym, you gotta have a certain amount of temperature in there anyway, and that kind of thing, and, but anyway, I guess, how do you wanna handle it? You wanna think, well, let her see how many people got signed up, and then we talk about the charge. I'm trying to figure out what's fair. This
Well,
is
we
such
gotta-
new ground.
Well, it's all new, because we had
Right.
several exercise folks that came to the original presentation.
That's right.
But you missed that. Was it 2 of them that had walking groups?
Yep.
Yes.
And we have an aerobics.
And an aerobics person.
thing.
So we really need to decide what our per head charge is, just to come in the building and treat everybody the same.
Well,
I think-
maybe if, we could get a playing schedule, because your schedule may not change depending on how many you have, but, the
Numbers.
schedule's the schedule, so we would know how far to schedule them out, and you may end up, if you don't have a lot of heads, but yet you still want the program to move forward, it may have to be a per use. Something like that.
I think more like per use too. I think when I had a conversation with Ms. Watson, what's sad, I think, I know Bo's son plays George. When summer comes, baseball's done. Baseball and softball's done.
It's crazy.
Right. It's always been that way in the Dickens.
Yeah, it has, and
Right.
it's crazy.
So then these kids don't have a whole lot, unless they go to a church,
That's right.
vacation Bible school, that kind of thing. Other than that, they don't really have a whole
Well,
lot.
but as far as just the board, is anybody opposed to doing something
Well,
like
that's
that?
what I was gonna say,
I'm not.
Ms. Watson, yes. Yes, I mean, for me, yes.
I think,
Yeah.
let's do it this way. Work it out with Mr. Bowen, he'll give us the details.
Okay.
But yes, the school's available, we're paying heat and air on it. And if you want to volunteer your time,
Yes, sir,
Then-
we do.
Ms. Watson was very innovative presentation.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for looking
Thank
out for our
you.
youth.
We're really passionate about it.
I can tell.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Well, in the summer league, with what you're working in with the children, with the reading and the statistics, guess what also goes on? NBA, summer league is going on with all the rookies and everything, so that's perfect. I mean, y'all can follow right along with
And
that.
I'm sure my son knows all
Yes,
about
ma'am,
it.
absolutely, I'm sure.
We're gonna incorporate it, because they'll never know what we're
There
doing.
you go.
And I do want to recognize David Redford, he's maintenance manager, he's here with us, but he's been helping take care of stuff down there, and he put a new floor down for, you know, how that floor was breaking up for, with moving the cooperative extension, so.
Right.
They fixed that floor today.
Oh, good.
And
Great.
so it looks good, and made a big improvement, you know, so, you know, it's like anything, if you're gonna keep it, you gotta keep it up, and that kind of thing, so, but anyway, I just want to recognize that,
All right, great.
okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, so we'll have more conversation.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna go to number 10 now, bowling alley proposals and other county property. This is Administrator Bowen. This is real estate, and it's finding, so we're gonna stay in open session, but just realize we're talking about people's financials, so we don't wanna say too.
Right, well, we have, so we make sure I have to rethink this stuff, that bowling alley, it's been I wanna call it a curse to me, I just can't explain it to you, but anyway, we had a public hearing, we had 3 bids. After we received the bids, and of course, we have a guest here tonight too, Chris Kozlowski, close, anyway, president of JCOS. He's right, don't look at me, Chris, I'm destroyed, and his wife is here with him, and of course, you see Philip D's here as well. So we got three bids. You asked me to check the background checks of the 3 bids, they all came out well, good. Had a conversation with the sheriff about that. And then you wanted to have did you have the ability to pay? That is checked well for 2. One person decided, you know, since that was the lower bid, they didn't take the time to go that way, but I understand that too. But anyway, so
both backgrounds are clear and both have the ability?
yes, sir.
And the bids were?
$400,000 for the top bid and $365 for the second and $325, I'm going by memory, for the third.
Okay, so the 325 will remove. So we're looking at 360 and 400, both have the ability to pay.
365 was it?
365.
365 and 400, both have the ability to pay and both.
We're gonna ask who those bids were from if we don't already know, because I don't think.
Yeah, that's probably enough.
So,
But
yeah,
No, wait a minute.
It was already in the newspaper.
Who the bids were from? I tell you, I don't read the newspaper, because I was gonna say why we need to discuss it, except the high bid, but I didn't.
We
see
can
it.
do that.
we haven't done that. Y'all did not accept anything
This is-
until we did the background.
You had
check.
requested this discussion at our meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Does anybody want to discuss it?
The closing date, if we accept the higher bid, what is the closing date, 30 days?
Gary, have we decided that? I can't remember. We didn't, I don't think we had enough.
I think we'll just work-
$400,000 is 2, say it's 8 months, but the other one is 10 days, then we gotta go with the low.
I couldn't imagine an 8-month close.
I think, Bo, we accept the, whichever bid y'all want to accept, and we can make that, close within,
30 days.
You're right.
I don't know if you want,
45 days.
let's say 60.
That's right.
Things are slow.
Yeah.
Title work is slow, things are slow.
So, Mr. Chairman, I can't remember if I saw that on our email or paper or what. Is it off the table, social services potentially wanted to move that?
Well, if you want to have a discussion.
I know.
We're in a place where we've got a building that we're not getting offers that reflect the value of 14,000 square feet on a couple of acres.
Right.
We're in a place where we've had a failed entertainment venue multiple times. So it needs to be something else. The county is taking on other projects. We've already got some of our county offices down in Blackstone. That's lukewarm. People think like it okay right now, but they would prefer that it was back at the courthouse. So there's all those things in there. As part of, Gary, were you aware that there's sewer going across the back of this? And you're gonna make that part of the deed, the legal description, giving an easement?
Yeah, we're doing that with the town.
Gary's communicated with me, and I really need to give him a survey
Okay,
of where we would need
so
to do
with
that,
that,
and get the scrap easement.
you're aware of it, and you're aware of it. The easement needs to be in the,
That's going on record prior to.
Going back to Ms. Norton's concern,
I just don't wanna ruffle people's feathers.
Miss Reed thought she was going down. I said,
Yeah.
yeah, right, well, and Ms. Reed also looked at the school, she looked at both places, actually. I think that what we were looking at, why we were looking at moving Ms. Reed is because we were looking to renovate the building that she's in now for the sheriff's department. But after y'all met with the engineers, I think that, I don't know what they told you guys, but the meeting I was in, that if you build another sheriff's office, you gotta bring it up to a category 4 building.
Four building.
And that was,
Yes.
that, and I think I
Which means
kinda
you gotta-
threw that for a loop.
well, then you gotta do the whole building. Everything
Right,
that's under roof, you gotta make
Yeah,
it
you just can't separate.
considered separate.
Anyway, and I mean.
And we're creating space by moving the extension. And then
That's
we've
right.
had discussions about,
Right.
having, I guess.
Yeah, I'm right now, I'm moving, well, our last discussion, I'm moving, a cooperative extension down to the school. David, we gotta get the IT stuff done. That's kinda next. I've got the floor, gotta clean it up a little bit. And then once I do that, then I'm gonna renovate the area so the Commonwealth Attorney will have a place.
That's right, come on.
That's right.
To go in that, so.
So
That's
the
good.
board's in a place where we've got an asset. We have a high bid of a business that is new to Blackstone. They've been there probably a little over a year. They do have employees. They are operating. This is gonna be a better space for an existing business. It's economic development all day, so.
Well, Mr. Chairman, it makes no sense for the county to go in there and put money in the building, to make office space and move everybody back to the courthouse. It makes no
In
sense.
3 or 4
That's
years, I agree.
That's right.
That's
So,
right.
sell it, get it back on the tax roll.
All right, I need a motion.
I make a motion to accept the high offer with the closing date of 60 days on the Nottaway County.
From the date of the contract.
Yeah, from the date of contract
Second.
for the Nottaway bowling alley.
All right, let's roll call. Mr. Bowen?
I got a motion on the floor to accept the highest bid for the sale of the bowling alley, and I got probably a second from Mr. Roy. And with that said, how do you vote, yea or nay, Vice Chair Toth?
Yay.
Mr. Roy?
Yay.
Ms. Norton, yea or nay?
Yay.
Mr. Ingham, yea or nay?
Yay.
Chairman Collins, yea or nay?
Yay.
Mr. Chairman, we have a vote of 5-0 to sell that bowling alley again.
No, to sell that building.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why I bid it anyway.
Maybe that's why it's cursed.
Hey, I wanna do this.
I don't know, it's been a rough road for that thing.
Whew.
Okay.
Yeah, he was second.
And what is,
Okay.
the sewer was put in and it was never, it was going across county land, so there was never any document.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. So, Mr. Chairman, it's got other county, are we finished with that subject?
I think so. We finished with
Okay.
that.
So, we got other county property on now. I'm asking, so, we had I stumbled on, a person asked me a question, we actually got Crystal Lake property, lakeside property. Oh, yeah, anyway, I'm asking I've contacted Lee Simmons, and I said, Lee, where do we have these 2 lots on Crystal Lake? So he went in and took a look at it, and he said, Steve, evidently Atkins Realty, years ago when they built Crystal Lake,
Right.
he bought a lot of land, and they were hoping to put not mobile homes, but I guess RVs down there. And it didn't work out, the project didn't work out, so people who didn't pay the taxes, 2 lots side by side went to us. And I'm asking if I can get Lee Simmons to maybe reach out, talk to people, see if we can put them up for sale and see what kind of price. Then, of course, do a public hearing, say we're gonna sell it, go through the process. But I sure would like to put get permission to Lee.
That's fine. Lee was selected as part of RFP process.
It was that, that's right.
He's a realtor, so.
And he knows a lot of people down on that lake and who might be interested, so.
Does he know if it perks? Because I had looked at some down there and it didn't perk.
He actually said, Steve, he said even now, it's also restored the lay of the land. He said, I don't even know how you would build something down there because he said the property,
So
right?
maybe the adjoining landowners might.
The joint lands probably is looking to buy something so nobody will build beside
That
them.
needs to be put up for a public bid.
That's right. That's why
No,
we're gonna.
wait a minute, hold up.
You wanna do public bid or you wanna have Lee?
I want to do public bid.
So we're not gonna do Mr. Simmons like we did all of them. We're not gonna, we've changed what we're doing.
No, he can handle the real estate contract and take office and say, we're gonna take office instead of listening for a sales price, and he take care of it.
But we didn't do a public bid with the house we sold.
He listed it for a said dollar amount.
That's right.
We just done,
We
we just done a public bid with Nottaway Boat Lane.
Well,
But let's let Lee investigate to see what these things are worth.
yeah,
And he'll communicate back to us and then,
All right, that'd be
then,
good. Let's-
I tell you the truth, it's not even surveyed, the lots are like.
There's a bunch of lots in it.
It's
If you
crazy.
look,
And we own 57, number 57, number 58, I can't even figure out what it is.
Can you see the size of it?
No, you can't, it's not even. It's
100 by 200, like 100 by 200.
Pores and no briars. Anyway,
Probably be worth a fortune if a man bought both of them and helped on to it for 100 years.
but
more power to
anyway,
him.
somebody thought they were gonna make a fortune when they subdivided.
Well, as far as like the sewer and stuff, everything that's down there in those bottoms, like that, they put a pump station to it and pump it up the drain fields.
is that what
That's
you're
right.
doing?
So
Okay.
anything can be perfect.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So he's asking for Mr. Lee Simmons to investigate,
That'd be fine.
get back to the board.
that'd be okay. And then, if you do a public hearing, I guess people, someone won't bid high, they go, you don't have to sell it for that, right? I mean, how would,
Well,
Let's see what Lee said.
let's see, okay,
yeah,
okay.
we don't have any idea what, we might be talking about $500.
Something, I got you.
$5,000.
So I'll get him to send us some kind of written report and put it in the board package, one of the board packs.
Yeah.
But you're willing to sell it?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't think
Sale,
We're gonna just drill for oil.
it. Y'all are selling, y'all just sell a whole lot more than other boards, yeah. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so no other county property to talk about?
No, sir, that was my big one.
And then the board, I sent y'all a message today, we will have a closed session next week to discuss additional problems.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, right.
We've got, Phil Miskovic is not here, so we can,
Yeah, he says he's at a
Right.
conference on Eastern Shore, but they're looking at a boundary line, crude boundary line adjustment.
And this was no change than his previous presentation, it's just to bring their town shop and then the town cemetery into
into the town.
the town.
And he had said that there was no residential.
That's correct.
And that we haven't heard anything, and I guess he hadn't heard anything back. He did request that we do a joint public hearing, and I'd prefer that to be separate.
Yeah, so they can
Because-
host theirs.
So then they can have their hearing and see if there's any,
Right.
Yeah, that helped with
and then
Parkville.
it would come to us, rather than us have to just say, okay, we're not doing anything.
Yeah, because right now, to this point, there's been no objections from anybody, but the two public hearings would definitely filter that out. So
That's a good point.
I think that's fair, that give the people a chance to go to the town and to the county.
But the town, the town owns the building, right?
Yeah, it's their building, it's their cemetery.
Is it legal for the county to charge the town taxes if the building is not within the corporate limits, Gary?
I don't know that we taxed them anyway.
No, you can't tax.
Yeah, if it's public owned property.
But the town that owns it is not lying.
Trying to figure out what this is right here.
It's lying out in the county. You might know the answer to that, though. If that
So that,
building that the town of Crew owns isn't in the corporate limits, can the county charge that, or does the county have to charge that?
No, it's all tax.
Which one
Yeah,
is it?
it's public entity.
But it's not, even though it's not in the corporate
Leaves
limits.
right.
It's
So
owned
can
by
it-
a public entity.
So can the town of Crew go up and buy
Dominion,
Old
it's a
Burke Mine?
Dominion
but what I'm
substation.
saying, 25 right here,
They could, yeah.
If that's what they want to do, but it wouldn't be in their
It's
town.
Lux down.
it's too
So
far
they
down.
can do it.
Property outside of town.
But now, if there's any questions,
It was a pretty clean package, I read the
That's right,
package,
yeah.
he did a good job setting the package up.
I'm looking,
Thank you, lawyer.
I'm looking at this thing right here.
Thank you, lawyer.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
Hey,
not
did they buy that building,
sure
or
about
was
this down
that
here.
buy that building,
Bill.
John? Did they buy that building? The town shop, Crew, that we talking
Looking
about?
at 17, what are you looking at?
12 and 13 and 25. 12 and 13 and 25.
I think I inside the box, though.
This is where them pine comes out.
Why are you don't think it's labeled correctly, or?
I'm looking at,
page are we on? I'm sorry, I'm messing up.
He's looking at the
Where
map and he's
Dominion is,
questioning.
this is Lone Pine right here, and then
Sorry,
this
Cruz-
is
Cruz.
Falls.
But I mean, right here, 25. Well, I'm trying to figure out where the road is. He's got the
So
thing on top of the
25, so
road.
it's, yeah, the Falls Road goes right up to the middle of it.
Well, see, but what I'm saying, I didn't know Dominion owned anything on that side of the road.
Dominion
That's
owns.
where that's where that's.
No, the substation's right here. 12 is where the
12,
substation.
25 is Luckstone.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. 25 is Luckstone, 12 is the substation.
If there's any questions, I know, Manager Miskovic is standing by for a phone call if we need to call him.
25 is Luckstone. I didn't know they owned that. I know there's a house down there.
It's just a little small. This may be part of when they bought the bigger pieces. You know,
So I guess what Mr. Miskovic, he's looking for is just, will the board,
He asked for-
will the board say, okay, it's okay to do a public hearing?
Yeah, I'm ready to go to
Renew,
public hearing.
renew the county's support for this boundary line adjustment is his request. So
Yes,
we
I mean-
support his request,
Yep.
but with the caveat that the crew is going to have their own public hearing.
Right.
And then we will follow them.
Right.
Right.
So we will be ready for a public hearing as quick as, June if they held theirs as well.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know, you gotta advertise 2 weeks now. You'd be fortunate to get it July, August, but anyway. And then they don't have any problems.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't try that.
So we don't, I don't think we need to make a motion, we just.
No,
We're supporting supporting their advertisement.
Yeah, yeah.
We're supporting their advertisement of their public.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Ms. Norton?
Yes.
Yep. Ms. Green?
I'm good with that.
This boundary line adjustment might be a little hard.
The Blackstone.
Yeah, we
All
got,
right, this is Philip Vanderbeck, town manager.
What does he want now?
well, I'm hoping that Andrea got everybody a copy of everything.
Oh, yeah, she
You're
gets
looking at
it.
this right here, right?
That would be the main one, yeah. Now, there's several different pages, but this is the total overview of all the properties that we're talking about. And to orient you, this is the main gate to Pickett.
All right.
That's the main gate going in Pickett.
Right.
Excuse me. That's the airport, the property we're buying from you at the airport. And the other airport, including our properties.
You wrote that check yet?
Yeah, dude.
Where is it?
Gary didn't want it.
That's the airport.
All right.
The land.
Where's the
And then-
main gate?
This is the Wilson's place. And then the town owned that Rocky Boat property back in yonder, and the fire training ground.
Yep.
Right here.
Armory, Bowman Alley, Nottaway Commons, and that's the southern half of what
Gomez.
y'all selling to Woodburg.
Gotcha.
The southern half.
Because a
Airport
little
overlay.
identified map, on there with the numbers. See right here?
They got more money than we got, I just say.
You want a copy of that?
So they're talking about everything on the right side. When I leave Blackstone, it's this right side.
Yeah, because
Well, no, this is on, this jump to the left though, don't it?
we'll be on the right side.
Oh, now what?
Everything south of 40.
Okay, I gotta break it down.
It is on the south side around 40.
From the
And
town line all the way to Gomez.
it would go past
Gomez,
Gomez.
past Gomez.
That's Ward Burton,
Yeah.
and this is the airport. We have not canvassed all the property owners. I've talked to Mr. Inge and Mr. Burton at an Economic Development Committee meeting. I've talked to the Wilson family, and I'll tell you now, I don't think they're super excited about Prospect. Their issue is, they like to farm. They
Right.
want to grow hay, they want to deer hunt, they want to burn a hedgerow, and some of those things ain't permissible in town. And so I think I don't think they'd ever, and I know the Wilson family very well, I don't think that they would necessarily fight it like in court, but I don't think it's gonna be a unanimous decision. Now, and I respect that, because I was going too, and I like deer hunt, and they want to
Where's the Wilson at?
right up against town.
Right, which is where Derby lives at, right?
That's 51.6, you talking
Isn't
about?
that where Derby lives in the shop and all these
Derby lives
restaurants?
across the road.
51.6,
51.6.
51.6.
Yes, that's where it started.
And I respect them for, I mean, they told us frankly,
I just don't know.
can you skip over it? And we may have to do that.
So I guess first question I'll have for you, Bill, is there's nothing to grandfather them in for this?
I talked to our attorney a couple times, and maybe Gary can speak to it as well. Our previous town attorney said certain activities that are associated with agricultural activities are permissible. So she gave a legal opinion that people could hunt on certain properties if agriculture was the primary use.
Right.
Our new attorney, not so much. So we have
Well, how the other one
opinion
for
on
this?
it.
How the other one back?
So we've got some work to do. Could we give them exemption? It would make it easier and be a cleaner looking line, but I don't see the town going to court with the Wilson. I don't see the Wilson want to go to court with us, and I don't know what the county's opinion of it is, but I wanted to present it to you guys. But they've been very courteous and very decent
They
about
didn't
it.
say anything about them having to pay town tax and Nottaway County real estate tax.
Well, they're crazy about that, I'm sure. No, we don't. That ain't high on the list of things to do, I'm sure.
I know this is, I never think about y'all look at it. Do you consider part of Fort Pickett part of the town?
No, that's just the
Okay.
boundary, like the picket.
Okay.
There's a picket boundary. The
So
dark
that-
blue shade and the light blue shade would be Fast C.
Okay, that's what it looked like that blue, you bring in blue, and I was like,
No,
I got you.
No, we can't, and we're not intending, we
I
don't want to
figured that.
get entangled with the federal government trying to annex them into town or anything.
I got you.
Well, Philip, and I'm not
Supervisor.
I'm going to speak for any of these people, I just, it's one of the things that might make the hair stick a little bit, but in the past, we've kind of stuck to no objections. That's what we've done in the past. So, is a potential way to cut them out and
Yeah,
avoid that?
I think there is, but it will mandate us taking the Route 40 right of way into the town road system.
Which means
Because
y'all
that-
would be responsible for maintenance of that?
Yeah.
It's in good shape right now, right?
Yeah, they're just not.
It's in good shape right now.
It's gonna have an $8 million
We check on it.
roundabout.
But we would include that into our road network, and we get maintenance money back, we're different than the county.
Right.
Kroonbergville don't do that, they pay us per lane mile
Right.
for secondary, primary roads.
So there is a solution
I think there
if this
is.
becomes a,
I don't think we can allay their concerns
And y'all
enough
reason
about
for
hunting.
y'all reason for wanting to do this is, again,
Economic development. Economic development.
can it be economically developed left in the county rather than town have something to do with it?
Well, here, if you want to know frankly what the issue is, we're buying this out here and we own the majority of that property out there and we'd like that to be intact. Okay? For a couple of reasons. One, the road network out there and with the entrances and the potential for aircraft being on those roads, we want to have the ability to control the public right of ways out there. Because we're
Right
going
now,
to put aircraft on.
VDOT controls economic development. First, we were looking at something, they were looking at this property. And Greg and I talked about doing some zoning, and the first thing VDOT said was
That's the
no.
other one, too. Different.
They said, you can't do anything until you have somebody that's coming, and we know what they're gonna do. We were trying to be proactive.
Yeah, that's Rule 5.
Rule 5,
Rule 5 states that.
so this takes it into the town, you don't have to ask VDOT.
Yep, get another.
You can have it on.
Rocky Mountain Road, is that Blackstone town store?
Well, they may-
Could it be?
It's outside the town.
Is that I got a lady living there that's.
You wanna break this up, you wanna do one at a time?
With each member?
No, you've got 3 requests.
I do.
Or are you trying to just get it, the whole thing?
Do the whole thing one time.
All right, that's fine.
Well, talk about why you presented that one. Talk about these other,
It's fold.
talk about these other,
This property here is on Courthouse Road,
Right.
and the gentleman approached us. There's
Okay.
one single residence that's unoccupied on the property, and the gentleman approached us and said, I would like to bring it inside town limits. And I told him I'd treat him like everybody else, I put it on the list, and he probably asked it 2 years ago. The gentleman passed away last week.
oh,
So that could or could not still be an issue, depending on what his family would want to do. His name was Eric Paul, and he was a heck of a good guy.
Oh, Eric,
Eric passed away
yeah,
last week.
I heard, he died, and there was another kid that died the same day.
Really?
Yes, Eric Paul played football for us, heck of a guy,
Good
heck of a
guy.
football
He
player.
died, I don't know what, he,
Somebody said a heart attack, massive heart attack,
well,
super
so
guy.
that may or may not necessarily be still an issue, but literally passed away. I
Right,
got a
right.
call last week and he had passed away.
I'm trying to
Did he
think
say
of
why
the
he wanted that
one
man
passed at
down?
the same time.
Was it for water, sewage,
Oh,
or?
I'm sure it's already there. I'm not presenting anything to you tonight that doesn't already have water and food.
So did he say why he wanted his land inside the court?
We prefer to be in town.
Want to pay taxes, why?
I like to-
the,
Like you?
Well, should we kind of wait, let them get back with the family before we discuss that? I would say-
Well, he'll be part of, he'll have
Yeah, I've
that,
got to
he'll have that
communicate with
figured.
them. I don't want to call
It
and.
just happened,
Right.
so he'll have that figured probably by
And
the
that's,
time they get to the.
it's not
phone.
mandatory, that was somebody that asked us.
Right.
Where's the next site, place site for that?
That Town Road,
Hungertown Road, about a third of that property already is part of the old UMAC tract.
Right,
UMAC property,
right.
you know, Boy Scouts had a campground yonder and all that. About a third of it's already in town.
Is
Headwater,
this past the shop curb or
it,
on the Blackstone side of the college?
Blackstone side of the
The
college.
end, on the Blackstone.
No, it's when you're starting to get out into Hungertown on your right. You come around the sharp curve, UMAX on your left. On
In
your
the
right.
apartments on the right, it's on the left and it's on the right. I know you're talking about.
Well, the property goes all the way to 4th Street. The property goes to 4th Street, but that's in town, that's the third that's in town.
Okay.
The 2/3 that's out of
And this
town,
is a
yeah, you
person-
gotta go around the sharp
This is a
curve.
person that's gonna develop it, and the town has smaller lot sizes
Requirements in the county.
than the county.
Right.
So you put more houses, so you put more houses
1.5
on it.
acre, right, half acre lot. They prefer to come into town, plus their utility fees, connection fees, all that are vastly lower. We're very supportive of this location, not only because of the potential for subdivision and some tax revenue, but remember, when we take a property into town and they're paying utilities, we may get a little tax money out of it, but we lose 50% of the tax, or their utility. Because in town it's 50% cheaper than it is out of town.
Oh, yeah.
well, and this property right here is only involving the one person that's asking to come in, right?
No, this is
There's no improvements.
This is a group called DMM Properties.
But what I'm saying is just one, it's not affecting anybody else?
Nobody lives in there. No, if it's just a vacant
Well, I'm fine.
I
wooded
do
lot.
too, because when they go out there and put them improvements on it, they made their taxes go up.
That's right.
They can.
Mr. Paul's property only has one house unoccupied, it's up to 24, 25 acres. This property, there's nothing but woods on it.
Well,
I think-
25 acres, one put in down.
Mr. Chairman, the one he just referenced, Mr. Paul's property, I don't have no problems with that.
He came to us and asked to be brought
But
up.
of course, we'll wait and see what the family tells y'all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push that now,
That's
but this Hungertown Road, it's, like I said, part of the old UMAC property, it's been
There's
partially
already-
timbered.
And there's already a platted subdivision on part of that. Isn't it, the part in town, isn't
I
that
have
already
a
got town lot?
160 lot subdivision already preliminarily provided. Will it make that many? I think they're maximizing too much and I think they're building too much road in my personal opinion, but
Okay.
it's gonna be 100+ lots, I suspect.
All right,
And it's inside the town's electric system, which is,
that's good.
we wanna promote development on the electric system.
All right, then you've got West Entrance Road.
West Entrance Road is a Mr. Muhammad.
I do want to make a little disclosure here. I sold this to Mr. Muhammad. It was owned by the bank.
Well, we'll come back which one I was talking about.
5152
Sherman
C.
Vaughn lives in it somewhere.
Yeah, Mr. Vaughn lives there.
It is
It's
adjacent to it.
next door to Sherman's house.
I'm done.
Sherman would
So
likely
it's
be
not,
the
the
next.
bank has no interest in it now. but
How many acres we
So
talking
Sherman's the
about?
last house you got down there.
It's a 10 acre, well, you know, there you go, 10 acre. And he is entitled to, again, a quarter acre lot, so
Right.
he can condense development appreciably.
Oh, okay.
And his water and sewer costs are vastly less. About a third of the property is inside the town's electric territory, and about 2/3 is outside. It used to be a trailer.
Can we get a substation there from the town and feed all the houses? And leave the power there strictly
It's
town
outside,
profits on it?
it's outside the town of Blackstone and
they've
Dominion
fought
Power.
that over.
Went to court and fought
I was
bitterly over
trying.
this stuff. I don't want to do it.
But
So any person that owns property that's adjacent to the town can request it to be put inside the corporate limit, and you take it under consideration?
I would
Uh-oh.
not necessarily give it the same level of consideration if it's gonna require the town to provide utilities.
Exactly,
there you go.
right.
Everybody's
Like
got
this
utilities
West
already.
Entrance, the manhole is right there.
Water and sewer out there now. I can't guarantee you he can flow by gravity,
Pump
but water
station
and sewer
over.
on West Entrance Road.
But then that once again is a one individual owned,
Whenever,
I got no
I
problem.
don't even think it's an
What about the
LC.
east court, I have 25 acres?
That's one individual.
There's water and sewer on Courthouse Road. The town of Blackstone and Nottaway County partnered back in probably 1994, early 90s.
I know who put those sewer lines in.
And the town of Blackstone applied for and received a DHCD block grant to put water and sewer in that neighborhood. And we did home renovation, all kinds of stuff down through there. And I think it was 1994 when we installed it, and we put water and sewer even in the county. Because all those properties flowed back toward the landfill. And right at the bottom of it, at the creek, there's a pretty gnarly looking dirt road, and there's a pump station up the back. And that same pump station serves what used to be our industrial park and Courthouse Road. And, you know, I was a young guy, I was in my 20s back then. And I think that people were having some well problems and that sort of thing. And county and the town went together.
Courthouse Road is one of those properties that should eventually be developed all the way to 460. It absolutely should.
You've seen some development out there in Walnut Hill.
From the town, yeah, that's right. They all the way out.
So, Mr. Vanderbeek here is again just requesting to move forward with a public hearing on his side of it. We know that there's a family that has some concerns about the larger parcel. The other three seem to be pretty easy.
Yeah.
So by having his public hearing, this board will then know what the temperature.
Thumbs up or thumbs down. And I have not talked to Nottaway Commons, but for those of you that,
I'm not, don't even talk to him.
pardon,
Take it,
pardon,
take it.
You don't want to talk about them.
don't want to talk about what?
What you was getting ready to say.
He was gonna just tell us how good the previous board did selling that property. I think that's what he was saying.
That's right. I think I may have heard
If it helps you, Ted.
something about a Vanderline adjustment going on down 40.
It was agreed to.
It was previously.
If that's not going to be the case, let us know, because we don't have to burden them with a sewer line, so Nottaway Commons wouldn't have sewer.
No. If that helps the town, we need to do that.
You got that, right?
All right, so go ahead with your public hearing,
All right?
and that'll clear up this section as to whether there's citizens that are opposed or not.
All right, there you go.
We'll notify them and send out notices and if they come up.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Quickly.
I want to bring up one point as a matter of a procedure. I appreciate what you're doing with the Kozlowskis. They've been great partners and spectacular. But I think their proposal, and certainly my recommendation to them is, don't close on that thing until the zoning is complete. But right now, it needs to be redundant from general business, or business, or whatever you got, to a light industrial of some
I
sort.
remember that was in their contract.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the 60 days is going to work.
We
We
can
gotta hustle around the
extend
60
it. That's not a
days.
problem.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Philip.
We want it sold.
Greg, we need to confirm what's in their contract and get that advertised. We need to confirm what zoning they want, and go ahead and get that advertised, get it started. We can do it while we have a conversation.
Yeah, go ahead and do it while we're sitting.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I think you're number 7.
Well, I don't know what I did. It's a PSR appointment, Supervisor Norton.
Yes. I would like to present Shannon Reed, who is our Social Services Director, to the PSR Board. That vacancy has been open since the passing of Arlene Robinson, and this is an at-large Nottaway representative. And I want to comment that PSR is not a paid committee. And the reason we're asking for this, I know her residency is a question. The PSR board has several other members that are social services directors. As long as they represent that county, it doesn't matter where they live, it's just they represent that county. And her expertise and willingness would be a great benefit to PSR so we can complete our board. So I'm presenting her. I know each of you know Ms. Reed, and she is very generously offered to serve on that committee. So I would like to know your wishes.
Yeah, I don't know, probably, Miss Reed is top notch, if she's willing to do it, and
Very professional
and
person.
y'all's bylaws allow it, hey, rock on, I support that all day.
You want to nominate him?
So I'd like to nominate Shannon Reed to serve as Nottaway County at-large representative for PSR.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. Approved, Ms. Reed.
Thank you.
And then number 8 is IDA appointment Chairman Collins, I do not have an appointment.
No, we brought that in, I introduced Ms. Pettis.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Oh, well,
you threw a name to me, but
But-
we haven't, I called him back and we,
I talked to him today. He's not interested.
okay,
Due to the financial disclosures and the current environment
understand,
with FOIAs and litigations. And
gotcha, okay. But anyway, so we do have another person we're working on, and anyway, so IDA, so hopefully we'll get that filled.
Okay, we've got number 9, English Construction Design Development Letter.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, board, if you look at package towards, you get in at the very end now, next to the last. Gary, this is something, I have to lean on Gary on this one. This is, I don't know if he has that thing in front of him or not. This is the thing, that I need permission to sign this. The Nottaway County has received of the schematic design courthouse project package submitted by English and Mosley. So I think they met with each one of y'all, and we have to have this in writing to move forward. Is that right, Gary?
Yeah, so basically what we've got, I mean, the letter says that we've got the schematic designs that were basically required under the court order that we agreed to. And now we've gotten to where originally the plan was to have full agreement on the schematic designs and move forward. Mosley, our architects, who do this a lot and know what they're doing, have basically addressed some of the Commonwealth's concerns with the schematic designs. And they said all of these things would be more appropriately ironed out in the design development phase. And so this letter basically just says, we're all good with this, everybody understands we're moving forward, we're going to that next phase.
And this one, but they, with the understanding that we'd asked it for 2 ways, one without the sheriff and one with the sheriff. We've not gotten, they understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Good discussion, yeah.
And I don't think there was anything else, board, anybody else have? I mean, that was the main,
And just for information, I was having a conversation with one of our citizens before the meeting started. And somebody sent me an article this week, Richmond has been, they either got to renovate their courthouse, which
I saw that
was
one.
$15 million, but if they build another one, it's $300 million.
yeah, well, the 15 million, the 15 million is kind of what triggered the court order, because the judge said, no, 15 million is not gonna do it. And they're gonna be looking at $300 million.
That's crazy. Anyway, I need permission for a vote, I think, Mr. Chairman, for me to get permission to sign this.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'd make the motion to allow Administrator Bowman to go ahead and sign the document as requested.
I'll second.
The first and the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, I'll get it signed, thank you.
5-0.
That's all on my end, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
You got to the end. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, Deputy, am I missing something? I know it's so much tonight, but we got a lot of
I don't
comments
think
tonight.
it's, yeah, and then next month we get to have Dominion Power for the work session. Oh, no, that's EDA.
That's the EDC.
We're gonna have an EDC.
That's right, I mess it up too, I thought we were gonna have it, but.
No, they're EDC. Okay. All right, comments from members of the board. Vice Chairman Toad,
I don't have any comments, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Ingram,
Bowling alley, bye-bye.
The building.
yeah, the building.
I
But I don't know, when he said he gotta rezone it, I'm thinking, my God.
Well, that's okay, we'll get it done.
I think,
Just make sure that the ad is accurate.
Oh, my God.
So that we do
yeah.
not have to re-advertise.
I think we're making progress, and hope the citizens realize that. And, I know there's always gonna be discussion, this and that and the other, but one thing I wanna emphasize to all of y'all, come to the grand opening of the animal shelter.
Oh,
There are, the 2 nights beforehand, 2 afternoons beforehand are for special guests on Thursday, 28th, and
You're gonna bring the,
Friday, the
you're gonna
29th.
bring the beagles, and I'm gonna bring the little setter puppies.
That's right, that's right.
They're in the newspaper today.
I'm gonna bring,
I don't know how I ended up with cats,
and
but I
also
did.
for free entertainment, we're gonna bring Steve's dog, which is uncontrollable.
yeah, but not,
All right, Supervisor Rourke, was that anything further?
Yeah, just 2 quick things. So first of all, I know the town of Crew has put out an RFP looking for someone to partner with them to open a grocery store in Crew. So I want everybody that is interested in that, locate that RFP, contact them if you got any questions, and get involved.
So they have issued that.
Yes, that is out. So, the, other thing I want to say is, I'm not gonna get into specifics by any means, but just so everybody can be aware. I'm thinking that Mr. Collins, Mr. Bowen, Mr. Bernard, maybe myself or him, when we have some conversation, maybe have a conversation with Colonel Quinn about a conversation you and I've had that I'm not gonna speak on because I do not want to get
Yes,
any.
we're gonna do that, we're gonna go closed session next week.
Okay.
Oh, that's what we're going, okay, all right, so, yes, yeah, oh, great, never mind. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, we're going to close session.
Yeah, we were gonna do that tonight, but then we revised.
Right.
Supervisor Norton?
I got a question, Mr. Toth.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you gonna squeeze that little kitty in the picture?
Which little kid?
Have you seen our
You
picture
didn't see
with
the picture in the
that?
newspaper?
You had a teeny tiny little kitty, about
I did
like
not
that
see
by
that.
the neck.
Is that some AI
It
stuff?
says AI.
Oh, yeah, it's AI.
Somebody told me about it, but they didn't say nothing about the kitty.
I'm very excited that we are having a grand opening. We have accomplished something.
His son loves, his son's like my son, he likes little kids.
I don't have anything.
All right, good meeting tonight. Glad the IDA, was able to help us
Yes.
further
Yes.
our school and our courthouse agendas. That was wonderful.
Right.
We
Was
got,
that?
got county all working together, and, we'll just keep plugging along.
Oh, Mr. Chairman.
Appreciate everybody.
I'd like to thank the Crew Fire Department.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
allowing us to
absolutely.
do it. Yes, sir. Thanks, Steve.
Did he charge us a single use?
Well, I told him, hey, Bo,
I'll meet you later.
I told him I wanted the tables a little bit this way, but he didn't.
I guess we need to, at some point, figure out what we're gonna do with the fees at Burkeville, since it's staying open and people are using it. We gotta figure out the rules, figure out
The
who's
more I've
got
had,
fees.
the more I think about it, and I've had conversations with people who's been assisting me with that project down there. The two gas guzzlers, let's call them utility guzzlers, is that gymnasium and those, refrigerators and freezers.
In the health
Yeah.
department, he had a small conversation with, Ms. Green has got, Dr. August Green has got a relationship with the Virginia Department of
But,
Health.
yeah, and I haven't been able to.
And
figure it out.
they were gonna come down, and then something happened. But Steve did have a minor conversation with them about what's being paid and what's being used. And they said, oh, well, you're not getting enough. And so maybe the Department of Health might help us.
Okay.
It'd be nice to get some very good, clear answers so we can, if we need to back up and punt and refigure the whole thing and make sure.
Right.
What we don't need to do is continue to supplement anything with taxpayers' money. If anything, we need to be
That's-
generating.
Yeah, and this presenter tonight was
There
upfront
you
about
go.
that and understood.
And that's why too, keep an open mind, if you don't mind, Mr. Ingram, keep an open mind when we meet with, Dominion Power at EDC. Just keep an open
Mr.
mind.
Chairman, I'd like to remind everybody, we done gone back up to talk about line 4. I'd like to make a motion for the adjournment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, aye.